Hello. I love making music, and it's a beautiful pleasure and honor to be here. Music for me is more than entertainment. It's a spiritual practice, and I'm so glad to share it with you all. So thank you, and I love you, even if I don't know you. Don't stop dreaming.
We begin to feel like we're being surveilled all the time. Then our behavior changes. We begin to do less. We begin to think about things less. You begin to modify how you think. And in a world like that, where you're restraining yourself, changes society in a major way.
Unfortunately, in this country, we've had a severance of cultural understanding. You know, the communities are just now starting to synthesize in a way that hasn't happened for generations. So I think more people are having meaningful relationships with people who don't look like them. And we're learning more about people who don't live the way that we came up. So I think that allows for people to have more open ears when it comes to music, and not to marginalize creatives. You know, if you're black, you don't just have to be R&B or blues or gospel. If you come from another country, you don't have to be world music.
It's the amount of Russian gas that is now being cut off, or people are voluntarily moving away from, has had a significant impact on at least the perception of supply, and in some cases, the reality of supply. So prices are up, and that's having a profound impact on the United States, on other countries around the world. It will change politics, and that's probably exactly what Putin wants. So we have to stand strong and fight back.
We have to ask ourselves, can we accept that the Industrial Revolution was financed by the blood, sweat, and tears and money of developing countries, and at the same time causes the climate crisis today? And it's a case of double jeopardy. So we had the wealth taken from us, and now we are facing the consequences of that wealth's impact on the Earth's climate. It's wrong, just simply wrong.
Me Too, I'm talking about the Me Too I started, and even Me Too, hashtag Me Too, all of that comes out of a movement that is decades old, that is about justice for survivors of sexual violence. And you cannot predicate that on the outcome of anybody's trial, because this whole system does not work. And we have plenty of evidence of that. And that's what I wanted people to refocus on.
You know, every day, is a mixture of ups and downs, and I think, when I want to tell a story, it has to be a mix of that. And also with comedy, especially, I think it's one of the most important things that we have in terms of delivering messages. And I think it's a great way of pulling audiences in, getting them to let their guards down and be part of the conversation, and then you can get into something deeper.
When people say, like, oh, it's just fashion, like, that's cute, we're a lot more powerful than that. It changes lives. We have a platform. We have the opportunity to speak out, engage with our customers, inspire people. It was my idea, but ultimately it was my customers and my followers on social media that really took the idea and lifted it up and helped it spread.
So we're a global platform, right? And Netflix has over 222 million subscribers. And in that, it's such a great opportunity and honestly so fun to actually tell stories from all different countries. So it's not Hollywood exporting stories, and that's sort of been historically what has happened, right, in television, that Hollywood exports stories around the world. This is doing local, specific storytelling in a language and in a country and exporting that around the world. And I do think it's a really powerful thing to be seen that way, and so people actually see themselves and also see cultures and people that they don't sort of know about.
I mean, just overnight, Louisiana enacted an anti-trans sports ban. It's not the first state to do so. The governor there called it discriminatory, distressing. And I wonder what your reaction is and your message to lawmakers in states where these bans are are happening. You know, you guys are going through this in your own family.
If you're not living this and you're just out there signing away and making laws, that's not right. That's a joke. Like, come and live a day in my world with my daughter. Come and see how it is to walk through this world as her, right? Like I just think like we losing our humane, like we losing the human side of us. And it's as sad as it is, as blessed as my daughter is to have parents who can support her, I'm still afraid every moment she leaves our house. And not just because of gun violence, but because of the way that people perceive her in this world.
I'm often asked, what is the war Ukraine about? And I have 3 answers for that question. It is war for the future of the world, for its ability to unite. It's war of decolonization because Ukraine is fighting for the right to exist. But for me as a journalist, it is also a war of truth and lies.
Every day when I start looking at my social media and I see DMs and I see hundreds of young girls sending me messages saying, because of you, because of what you did at the Olympics, you inspired me to start skiing, to break my own boundaries, to sit with someone new at lunch, to try something that I never thought was possible before. And because of you, I feel like I am better as a person. And when I read messages like that, it galvanizes me too. And it's this positive reinforcing cycle in which it's not really an idol and a fan, really. It's friends moving together. And when someone does well, I want to celebrate their successes and build off of them.
Why do you think gun violence is such an intractable problem?
Really, it's very hard to understand why this has just continued on and on and on, and certainly this recent spate of violence was particularly shocking. You know, Americans, I think as President Obama says in our film, he explains Americans have a unique relationship with their guns and come to represent something that, you know, necessarily isn't true.
The toll of this pandemic, you know, 20 million dead globally, million in the US, and it could have been way more fatal. We just got lucky that the death rate per case was like 0.2%. The amount that people are, you know, debating, okay, what should this look like, and the amount of resources required under anyone's solution is actually pretty modest.
I just want to thank I learned so much, and I want to thank our speakers, all of our speakers through the day, for just an amazing, thought-provoking, inspiring conversations and ideas that they have brought toward the world's challenges. So a round of applause, please.